In this video we'll discuss how a common design requirement is accomplished using Alpha Anywhere. So you can see that we have a simple UX component now that we're viewing in the mobile simulator, and the UX component is showing a panel with a list control in it, and then underneath the list control we have an input control. And the panel basically and the input control together consume all of the available space in the panel card. But when we do an orientation change, we'd like to still have the same space allocated to the input control and then have the list get smaller automatically. So we'll go now to horizontal mode, and you can see that our input control is still based at the bottom of the screen, and the amount of space consumed by the list has decreased. When we go back to vertical, you can see that the list grows, and then when we go to horizontal, the list gets smaller. And if we go to, say, an iPad in horizontal mode, you can see that the list is now bigger still, and that the input control is always in the fixed size at the bottom of the screen. So in order to achieve this design goal here, you might think that the simplest approach is just to set a simple percentage height to the list control. But as we'll demonstrate here, that approach it will not work. So here's what you might think would be the way in which you would solve this problem. Here's our panel card, there's our list, and we can go to this list and actually make it 100% width. And so now we've set the list to be 100% width and 80% height, leaving the remaining space available to the text box underneath the list. But if we go to working preview now, we can see that we have not achieved the goal that we wanted, and the reason that we haven't achieved that goal is that this 80% height is meaningless. Setting a height to a percentage in this particular instance is meaningless because it's a height of what, and although we know that what we intended is a height of the panel card, as far as HTML is concerned, that's sort of a meaningless value. So I could have gone here and set the height to, say, 300 pixels, or 3 inches, but 80% is a meaningless concept in this case. So the way in which we actually solve this problem is as follows. You can see now, if we go back to design mode here on the working version, here's the working version of the component. The way we've achieved this is we've taken this list, put it in a panel card by itself, then we've specified that this list fills the container. So now this panel card is going to be completely filled by this list. Then we've taken the text box and we've put that in its own panel card as well. So here's this text box, and we've set its width to 100%. Then we've wrapped these two panel cards inside a panel layout, and we've specified that this panel layout goes top to bottom. Then finally we've gone to the panel card that contains the text box, and we've said that it has an absolute height, an absolute size, which in this case is height because the flow is top to bottom. So it has an absolute size of 50 pixels, and we have not specified a size for the panel card that contains the list, which means that this panel card will then consume all of the remaining space. So using panel cards and panel layouts, we've been able to achieve exactly the design goal that we started out that we wanted. Thank you very much for watching.